All right.
Yes, welcome to Husky Huddle. I'm your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully, and with me, as always, my cohort and partner in crime, the coach himself, David Schuman. Coach,
It's good to have you.
oh
It's
yeah, it is good to have me. I know.
it looks like you're back now. You look a lot. You look
I'm
better.
back.
You look much better.
Well, I have after I got catfish yesterday on a podcast episode. Do you
I
know?
didn't get a chance to watch that.
First of all, do not watch it. Second
Oh,
of all, do you know that it blew up? I got 12,000 followers on Instagram now because of that podcast.
shut the front door. Hold on. Let me
Look at my Instagram.
hold on. God, let me go to my Instagram. Hold on. Because we got to. First of all, I don't really understand. So I'm going. Hold on. Let me just go here. Let me see what the hell is happening here. So was it live on your Instagram? Like, how did you pick up all these
No,
followers?
I posted it on Instagram. I posted it because he wanted it, and it was a disaster. So I figured, why not? I like disasters. People like to watch train
You do
wrecks.
have 12,000. You didn't have 12,000 before?
No, I had like 500.
Is this the one with Jim Tucker?
No. It's the one before it with this weird the guy.
The weird
His
guy,
his
aka
name's
Joe.
Jo. He goes by Jo.
He's a dating coach.
He invited me to be a podcast guest.
And this
I
is his,
didn't I didn't know
you came and
I didn't
find
know that
and he's not even he's gone. His Instagram's gone.
it is?
I clicked on it. Johnny O
Yeah. Is it
gone.
gone? Wow. Wow, that's mysterious. That's mysterious because he I
Oh
can't
no,
believe
you posted it wrong about the bottom. Okay, at the top I got it. I found it.
Oh,
Okay.
the bottom that's the one he gave me to post, and that's not his. I mean, I don't know what that's for. Maybe that's
Well,
for Twitter.
this guy's a nightlife host, dating coach, 4 million views on YouTube. I don't even know what that means. High value men. So you appeared on his deal?
So he messaged me about being a guest on his show. I've never been a guest on a podcast. I've never actually been a guest. So I didn't really know what we're going to be talking about. So I just said yes. So we tried doing it over Zoom, and it wasn't working well. So I
Okay.
said, dude, I use StreamYard. I said, if you want to do it on mine, I'll do it on mine. And he's like, can you make it live? I go, yeah, I can make it live. So I did it on mine, and we made it live. I didn't really, again, I said, I'll introduce you, and it's, whatever we're doing. So, yeah, he was he gave me some valuable tips on dating, on meeting women, on the three core values he has for meeting women. He has an ebook.
So why were you catfished though? I don't get it.
Because I didn't know, I had no idea what we were gonna like talk about. I thought it was like sports, or you kind of thought it was going to be that related to something like that. Because if you're gonna do a podcast and you're gonna have a guest, and you're a dating coach, are you bringing Steve Cully on your podcast? Would that be your number
Oh my
one
God,
choice?
he's sitting there with no shirt on.
No, he's got a white shirt on, but
open shirt. Oh,
he's wearing glasses.
Friend that I had just met, and we are going to have an interesting show. And my bro's younger, so
you don't have to show it.
So I played with these guys that were older than me. I thought I was the hottest guy in the world, and I was so young and naive. I didn't know. I was playing baseball. And what happened was,
so you are talking sports with him.
This is loaded. It was on.
He just does it. He does it for the first part. We talk. He has a memory from like Little League
right now.
I think that's as far as he played.
If you're making the content and you're networking, that is where it's at.
So he's trying to educate me on being a good podcaster and networking and
speaking.
Did it help?
Because I look at the first few.
You have 12,000 followers.
Ever, and I up to now, and we're
yeah,
40.
I do.
And
I do.
But is it like bots or what is it though?
No, I know. I mean, it's real people. I mean, it's just like,
are they messaging you?
But they're watching other shows that I've posted.
Okay, that's good.
And I've gotten likes and everything. But this episode,
114 likes you got it when you posted that.
That's what I'm saying. It blew up.
And everything else is getting like 3, 7, 2.
Yeah.
And now you blew up.
Yeah. Because of J.O.
Because of this J.O. guy.
Yeah.
He's got 46,000 followers. He's got a big following.
Oh, I didn't know he had that big of a following. Okay. Well, then that makes sense. It
seems like it's all dating.
Yes. Yes, we get into that later. He explains to me how to date, how to go out on dates, proper etiquette, how to meet women, dating sites. He gave me advice on that. And he has a subscription service where he'll work with you. And he shared a few stories. It was just it's a legitimate fish out of water podcast.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah. Like I woke up this morning and I saw 12,000 followers. And I'm like, how in the hell did this happen? And J.O. hooked it up, I guess.
Well, he pays for his J.O. pays for his followers. So if you look at J.O.
What do you mean he pays for his followers?
If you look at J.O.'s stuff,
you can pay for followers?
Absolutely. So he has. So let's see his regular podcast. He has 46,000 followers, but like most of he'll have no views, and then all of a sudden 950 likes. It's weird, very weird. I'm trying to. Yeah, he's got a lot of these yeah, he's paying for these.
You can pay for viewership, or you can not viewership. You can pay for followers.
Yeah, of course.
How do you do that?
You could get banned from Instagram if you do it.
How's it done?
There's like these farms that you could pay.
There's farms.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But that's pretty. It's hilarious. I didn't get. I mean, I got some on Facebook, but not like Instagram. But because Instagram.
Oh, why am I frozen now, dude? What the?
You always freeze. You always freeze.
Yeah.
Yes, we're on the Steve Cully dating show. I'm a wonderful date. I like a good meal. Definitely some creme brulee. Creme brulee is my favorite dessert. Yeah, so
creme brulee.
Creme brulee is my favorite dessert. Whenever we go out, I always ask, "Do you serve creme brulee?"
Creme brulee is great. It's
my favorite.
They scorch that top there with the sugar. Then you have the pudding underneath.
Yeah.
Tapioca, I think. Tapioca.
It's not tapioca.
What is it?
It's a custard.
It's
a custard.
Okay.
Yes. And then the sugar, they use the little, it's like a welding thing, fire to fry it. And it's great.
Creme brulee tastes good. I know. It's very good.
It's my favorite dessert. So I got a good education on.
So did you learn anything dating wise?
I did. He educated me. Yeah.
How old is he? He looks like he's young. He's like 30.
I think he's younger, but what he said were things that I didn't expect. Now, like I said, Steve Cully talking dating, like I wouldn't. I don't know anything. He said, status is important. If you have a good job, if you're a medical professional or a lawyer or whatever, use that. He was saying, make sure to let her talk, be a listener. Don't dominate the conversation. And he said, don't be. He said, try to find a relaxing thing to do. Try to get her, play darts, play pool, because you'll get her relaxed and comfortable. Because it's stressful dating. So he said that's his three main principles about dating. And then I asked him because like I don't have my friends are all married and have kids, like going out alone. And he's like, there's nothing wrong with that. He's like, if you're going to go out alone, he said, don't be the creepy dude sitting in the corner staring at people. Don't go up to every girl and hit on her. He said, wherever you're going, get there early. He said, you got to be a generous tipper. He said, tip the bouncer, because you want to get to know everyone. So tip the bouncer well, tip the bartender well, and get to know them, get to know everyone. And that will make you look better. That's part of having the status. So, when you meet somebody there, then, if they see that the bartender knows you, the bouncer knows you, that will make them more comfortable or think highly of you because you have status. You're well known.
Either that or you're a drunk.
That too. It's crazy.
I think there's something to that.
There is. He's right about that.
I remember when I lived in
but I've never gone out alone. I've never done that.
I have. So that used to be one of my things.
Really?
Oh yeah. Okay.
So
I would go with my boys, but like I learned it from
that's the one thing he said was wrong. He said, don't go out with a group of guys.
Correct.
He said if you go out with like three dudes, he said that will intimidate a girl.
Correct.
He said if you go out with two dudes and a girl, or a guy and a girl, he said that looks much better.
Absolutely.
Oh, so
the only tip I think about is funny. Yeah, you don't want to be the creepy guy in the corner. I think he's 100% right on if you know the bouncer and the bartender. I know from when I like every place I've ever lived, I always had a place that I would kind of know people, and so I would go. Not that I knew them when I first started going there, but like when I lived in Hoboken.
Oh, love Hoboken.
So I lived in Hoboken. I lived Madison's was the bar that was right around my
Hoboken's so much fun. Yeah.
So I used to go to Madison. So I knew the girl who was the bartender there. I didn't know her. Like we didn't hang out, but like we've I've been there enough that we knew each other. And then I knew the bouncer, and because I had been there, like I lived around the corner. He knew I lived around. They knew I lived right around the corner, right? Because I would come in there at like 11:30 or at midnight, or I get food there. I go and get food there, and So I used to meet a lot of girls there, and part of it was because I'd be there by myself. I'd hang out. I'd say hello to people I know, and one person would know me and say hello. But I went out by myself a lot.
And that he said that was important too. He said, make conversation with other guys that are there. He said, just get to know people.
Well, sometimes I would know people sometimes because of like the area,
right?
So I would know people, and then it would work into your favor, And the thing that I always noticed is that like you will notice, especially at the time I was in my late 30s, maybe, you're a little more. I would notice that I would see a girl look my way, and then I would be like, okay, she just happened to look in my direction, or is she looking my way? And I'd say, does she look in my way again and again? If she did that 2 more times, I didn't hesitate.
Right.
I go right in. So I go right in, say hello, blah blah blah. Then I wouldn't waste time. Like if I could tell they were interested or they wouldn't, and if they weren't interested, then I moved back to moving through the dance floor, and then go to one side, and then work back to the other side. Oh, I had a whole
a whole repertoire.
Listen,
I can't dance for shit, so
you don't have to be able to dance. Like you don't if you're by yourself, you don't dance unless you get into a group of girls or something.
Right.
Oh man, it was.
I can't even imagine a young Schuman out there just down.
I wasn't even young. I was in my late 30s. But I mean, the young Schuman was way better because I was also I was young, so like I was cocky. But when I was in my 30s, I was more mature and like had a plan. You know what I mean?
Yes.
When I was young, I didn't care like if I met someone or I didn't meet someone. Like you
just wanted to have fun.
I wanted to have fun. If I met somebody, I'd go in there and close. If I didn't, but I should have been more intentional in my 20s, I think. I think I would have had a better if I was more intentional from that process that I had in my 30s. If I had that process more in my 20s, when I was, where I basically relied off my looks and my personality only. Like in my 20s, that's all I relied on: my looks, my personality,
But it's the same thing. If I knew then what I know now, but he did say looks are huge. He said if you can do something to improve your look, whether it's a haircut, whether it's working out more, whether it's with fashion, with buying different clothes, he says your appearance and your look is very, very important. So he said if somebody says no to you, it's important not to shut down. He said,
"Yep,
you can't lose your mind after one no." He said there's always there's always another opportunity for a yes. So it was
I like this guy. I like him.
Just watch the show. It's just
I like this guy.
J.O.
sounds like he's got it together.
He's got it together. He does.
No, I listen. I would when I met my wife. I was living in Hoboken, and there was another restaurant bar right like literally my I'll come out my building, there it was, right? Hoboken. Come out my building, and I would go, and they had good food, so I would go there and I would this was always one of my strategies. I would sit at the bar, and I'd eat. I'd order a steak, and I'd be there at like, I don't know, on like a Thursday at like 6 or 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Order a steak, sit there, eat.
What he said. Yeah.
I'd sit there by myself. I told my friends some of these strategies. You should use them. Sit there invariably, a group of girls is going to come in. Group of girls comes in because girls always come in as a group. There's always somebody looking. Oh, My wife, she sat down right next to me, and I just struck up a conversation while I was eating my steak, having a drink, eating my steak. So and I mean those strategies, I mean, listen, I can tell you this. Look, I was still obviously younger. I was in my 30s. I was, obviously a handsome guy. I was smart and all that kind of stuff and things going on. But I wasn't like I was when I was 25. And when I was 25, ripped to shreds, So it wasn't like I was, that person, right? So as you get older, you got to leverage what you have as you get older.
Exactly.
So the things that your assets as you get older, right? Like I wasn't gonna, I didn't have washboard abs anymore at 37 or 38 years old.
Yeah.
So that wasn't. I was in shape, but I wasn't quite as And whereas when you're 25, like my first thing was trying to take my shirt off as fast as possible.
Absolutely, couldn't get it off fast enough. Yeah,
couldn't get it off fast enough, right? So but you're also attracting a different, potentially the wrong person at that time.
Well, he told me that too. He said you got to diagnose the type of girl that you're talking to. That, if she's a party girl, if she's not a party girl, if she's introvert, extrovert, figuring out the personality type is important, and it's going to change how you interact with them. And it changes, obviously for what you're looking for, if you want a party girl or not. And party girls are different than obviously the introverts that may not be.
And your crew is important. So here is one of the things
he did say that. Yes.
Crew is very important. So when I was young, my crew at UConn that made me successful. My roommate was Zeke Rogers, who was a quarterback, tall, handsome guy. Okay. I hung out with another guy who's, I don't want to mention his name because he had some problems later on, but he was very handsome guy. Okay. Receiver, very handsome guy, and so then I was good friends with, actually, you should have them. They were walk-ons, but they went almost, I think didn't play their last year, but they were very good players. It was a shame. I thought that they left, but two of my good friends, Dan Smith and Jay Carrier, we were a great crew. They were good looking guys. They were smart. They were successful. They knew how to approach girls. Like everyone had different styles, but they knew how to approach girls. I would learn from their style. They would learn from my style. Right. And then put in what would fit into the game. We used to always say, like, we would all take tools from things that we thought fit with our personalities from our friends, right?
Yeah,
and it was big. And we always went out with a good looking crew intentionally, and we went out to have a good time. Okay, but none of us were insecure in that. Like if we met somebody, and we went off on our own. Like our rule was, hey, if you don't see one of us around, like it's just more likely I left with a girl. I'm talking to a girl. Don't worry about it. Just check to make sure I am with a girl or something. And then we were like, he's gone. Like we would always say, don't just take off. Just tell us, hey, I'm going with her, or I'm going, yeah. And so, but that way, we none of us felt like we had to stay with each other the whole night.
Right. And that's huge.
That was huge because a lot of friend crews, guys get upset. Like I would say, the linemen. You were a lineman, right? Linemen were guys that they were a band of brothers, right? So they would never leave anybody behind. They party together, but it wasn't always conducive to meeting girls because they were too much into taking care of each other, right? And so whereas the skill position guys a lot of them are a lot more craftier in that element. Like they weren't worried about hanging out with each other all night long. And,
right. We see enough of each other.
Right. So it would be like it was the same thing. Like if I went to a party with one of the, I was at a party maybe with Shane, and then one of the hoop players was there, and they're like, "Hey, let's go to this party." Shane maybe or somebody, a guy met a girl, right?
He's like,
And
I'm good.
yeah, he's gonna stay here. I'm gonna stay. Okay, cool. Me and this basketball player will go to this party, and then like he might meet somebody, or I meet somebody, and he was like, see you later. Like, but there was like that that helps you in
Yes.
meetings. If you're with somebody and they're on the same page, other girls are like, oh, he has friends. You know what I mean? So the same way that like it benefits you when you're by yourself, it can benefit you if you're friendly with everyone, even though you're by yourself. If you're in a group, you want to be in a smaller group,
Yes.
so that your friends having a good time, that you're not just there to find a girl, but at the same time, when you see opportunities, you go over I could tell. I mean, I got so many stories of how these things like I knew, and I would meet somebody, like I knew, like I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have a drink, I'm gonna hang out, I'm gonna see which crew of people are there. Like if I saw like in Vegas, or if I was in, I remember one time I was in Reno, Nevada. My father was with me. We were running a camp, and he wasn't obviously going to go out to the bar. I was going by myself, so I go down to the bar, and I probably was 26, I would say, maybe 27, because my father was still running camps with me. Because he probably was still in his like late 50s. So he was still young. So I'm there, and if I was sleeping, and I come down below, and I'm there, I'm hanging out. There's a lot of people in this. It's Reno, Nevada. It's nothing like, but it was fun.
Reno's a good little town.
It's the best little big town. Yeah, it's fun.
I've been there.
I have the restaurants too, and I actually liked Reno a lot. And so I go out, and there's just a group of girls. There's like 6 girls, okay, sitting at like it wasn't like a VIP, but they were sitting
a private table. Yeah.
A couple of them are looking over, and I'm like, well, I mean, there's people here, but like, I'm like, they're not I mean, I'll wait till one of them comes to the bar to get a drink or something. One of them comes right my way. I'm like, hey, how you guys doing? They're like, oh, are you by yourself? I'm like, yeah, I'm here. They're like, if you want, you can come join us. I joined them.
Wow. You sat with 6 of them?
6 girls. Now, here's what's great about it. Like, I've done that a few times in my life, okay? I can't say that I've had the confidence every time I went out, but at times when I was just in the right mind frame, I've done this. Yeah. And I'm telling you, it's a win, because there's no other guy for them to pay attention to but you. You're the only person.
You're the star of the show.
They went out as a crew. You know what I mean? And they're going to have a good time. They weren't necessarily looking for. I mean, girls are always looking at me, guys, but they're not like, it wasn't their attention. And then here's some guy. They're laughing. They're having a good time. And next thing you know, somebody's interested in you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, one of the 6 is going to feel like
you're not going to go. You're not going to go 0 for 6. You're not going to go
0 for 6. Someone's going to think that you're cool. You know what I mean? Like, even if 5 of the 6 didn't like you, one of them is going to like you.
Right.
Right. So it's but yeah, like, I think this guy that you're on, that's pretty cool, dude.
I'm telling you,
it's cool.
I'm telling you, just watch the show.
I was watching some of it on my phone.
It's funny. It is funny. It's funny because I was caught off guard.
Yes.
And it was funny because like I had like I told him, like, if you pick the one area where Steve Cully would need the most help and education, it would probably be dating. So go on.
I gotta tell you, this is a great Cancun story. I know we haven't talked.
Well, spring break. That's it.
This is a great spring break one. So I'm there with me, Dance. I'm trying to think of who I'm out. Me, Dan Smith, Nowden, and Jake Carrot. So we go. We're on spring break, and there's a group of girls.
Did you do the one where it was the resort that was all inclusive, or?
I went there 4 times or 5 times
every year. Okay.
I went like 4 or 5 times. So
You didn't do the resort.
I might have done that one. I don't remember what I did.
Yeah.
It's too long ago. But I remember it. So you remember when the show what was the show where
like the Real World?
Real World.
Yeah.
So there was a guy, his name was Tech Money. I think his Tech Money was one of the guys, this guy. And he was on the show, and then he was hosting. I think he might have been hosting then The Grind or something. But
okay.
But then, so Tech Money was there, and like a bunch of FTV people, and we're out in the club, and there's these girls, and there's like, we met these girls, and one of my buddies, Jay, he goes, oh, the girls, they left, and they went up by Tech Money and their crew, the whole MTV party thing, upstairs. I said, okay, so let's go. So we roll up there. And I think he felt like they were going to go with that crew instead of hanging out with us, right?
Oh, well, of course, yeah. I'm sure you guys dominated.
So anyways, one of them was like, starts talking to me, like, oh, they want us to hang out with blah blah blah. I said, what's going on, Nicole? I'm telling stories here.
Oh, do you want a cheesesteak?
Yeah, I'll take a cheesesteak.
Yeah, I would too.
I'm telling Steve, I gotta tell you this real quick before you go. Come here, listen, we're on the podcast. This is funny. Okay. Steve went on a podcast. A guy asked him to go on a podcast. Yeah. And he said he didn't know this, but the guy was a dating coach, not a dating coach, like a male, like one of those male stratosphere guys. Part of his thing is dating advice.
He calls himself a dating coach, yes.
Oh, he calls it.
And he's got his own ebook.
So he went on the podcast with this guy. How many followers did you have on before?
500.
He had 500 followers on Instagram. After going on with him, and he posted the show, and he said it was a wild show. I started watching a little bit. He had 12,000 followers on Instagram. Steve did? Yes, he went from 500 to 12,000.
Well, everybody must think he's available. Dating coach.
Well, that might be number one. Plus, this guy is like pretty. I guess I looked it up. It looks pretty popular.
Oh, there you go.
And we were talking about the advice he was giving.
Well, was it a female boost?
No, it was a male.
Was it more manosphere people?
He wears sunglasses too, which I thought was hilarious. He's got this. He looked like a movie character.
Yeah, I'll take a cheesesteak. Oh, okay, great. So here's the story. So I go up there, and Jay is talking and Dan are talking. I can't remember which girls they were talking. But anyway, the one who I was talking to says to me and goes and says, I'm gonna hang. I think we might hang here. Tech Money and their crew, like they're famous.
Tech Money, they're here.
They're famous. We might get on MTV. Blah 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 blah. So I go. Tech Money's famous. I was like, Tech Money can't make it. I'm like, he ain't famous. He can't make himself famous.
Yeah,
come on, give me a break. She's like, what do you mean he's not famous?
He's not famous for anything. He's famous for
anything. So I said that I threw a little haterade in there, and I would do that to one of my friends or something, and she looked immediately differently at the whole process. Like I didn't think of him as anything, right?
Yeah,
like,
of course you wouldn't. Why would you?
I'm like I played football.
I played D1 football.
20,000 people come to watch us.
Yeah.
So they look differently, and then I see all of a sudden the crew starts talking to each other, and then we're like, you know what? I think it was Dan or one of my friends said, buddy Jay, who was great at this. He had a knack for this. He's like, we ain't playing no games. He says to them, we're not playing no games. We're out. So we go, and he's like, just follow me. We walk out. We walk down the stairs to the bar, and I couldn't believe it. That little finishing touch with it. He said that, and we go downstairs, and I'm not kidding. 5 minutes goes by, 10 minutes goes by, and we're just hanging out. It's a big club. There's plenty of people there. All of a sudden, hey, they're all there.
They all came back.
Yeah, we told those guys, we're hanging out with you guys first. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, play it off cool.
But like this,
that's awesome.
But it's what this guy says. It's like if you create, like
you have to have confidence,
status, or you create status,
Yeah.
It allows you to be intriguing. And
Yes.
and that's all you need to get in the door is to be intriguing. And then, if intriguing goes into something they're interested in, then you're in good shape. But if you got to get them to be intrigued.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the whole.
Absolutely. You gotta be a mystery. You gotta get them wanting more. Keep them wanting more.
I used to watch my buddy Jay do this all the time. He was the guru of creating mystery.
Yeah.
He would create mystery. It would be so funny. And I would be like, dude, I'm like, what are you, like Batman? You the Dark Knight, because he would create mystery around himself.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't want to miss out.
They don't want to miss out on
They
mystery.
don't want to miss out on it. Yeah.
Yes. But anyway,
can't miss out.
So that's great. That's I listen. It sounds like you actually, even though you didn't intend on getting anything out of it, sounds like you got something out of it.
I did. I got a lot out of it, and I said I would do another one with him again in a couple weeks. I just was impressed with how forthcoming he was, and
what made him reach out to you?
I have no idea. I didn't even ask. I that's the other thing I don't know. I have no idea why he initially reached out to me. He just messaged me about coming on his podcast. I didn't do any research to see, what it would be about or anything. I've always wanted to be a guest. So I said, sure. So he had a calendar. It was only supposed to be 15 minutes. And I booked a time with him. And his Zoom wasn't working. So we used mine. And we went for almost an hour. And he said he would do another one. But I think he obviously would want me to subscribe to his service.
Sure.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, his ebook is pretty good. If you go, he's got a website. I'll give him a plug.
That's funny.
I think it's joonline.com. I put it in the show notes, his website. But his website has his ebook. So if you have any intention and you want to check it out, you can go to it. So I thank you, Jo. And you're getting even more of a plug. But yeah, that waking up with 12,000 Instagram followers was a bit of a shock after that.
Hopefully they're good followers and they can do something for you.
Yeah. I mean, they're I hope they watch our content, and I think they are. And the viewership's gone up on a lot of it, so that's what's important.
Johnny Osman.
Johnny Osman, he's the man. He's got great pictures. That's the other thing he said. He said, you have to get like good pictures done. He said, it's worth.
Are you sure you didn't pay for some of these followers? Because it looks like a lot of these followers are farm followers.
I don't know anything about that or how that works. I didn't know you could pay for followers.
I'm looking here.
I mean, he
follow 1 million people.
He could be. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how that. Or, I mean, are they like bots? Are they fake? Are they?
I don't know if they're bots. I'm looking at it.
Because I did notice that there's some that don't post at all and some that follow. So there's
a lot of women on here. But I don't know.
It's a lot of women. Yes,
but they're following a lot of people and not being followed, which means
correct.
Which strikes me as
that's what I saw that too. Like if they're not posting actively and they're just following, and then not many people follow them,
right?
but I didn't know that. I didn't know that like you could buy followers.
Right. Interesting. Oh.
And you said Instagram doesn't let you do that. Or Instagram frowns upon that or something.
Frowns upon it, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Oh, trying to see. Yeah. Anyway, well, it sounds like it was fun.
Yeah.
So Husky wise, you wanted to grade.
Yeah, I wanted to take a look at the quarterbacks.
Okay.
Coming back. Well, that's what I'm still confused about Joe Figiano, if he's back or not. Because he shouldn't be. It was supposed to be his last year, but he's listed on the spring roster. So if that's the case, that makes things very interesting, because if you're looking at I'm looking at the quarterbacks, and I wanted to see if we could review some of the film on Nick Evers in the games that he played in, that he started. So I know the one I saw, I think I saw Georgia State was the one he played in, which is where I made a comment in front of his agent, which I shouldn't have. But yeah, they have Joe, Nick, and then they have a redshirt freshman, Caleb Smith from Staples. They have the kid from Virginia, the Virginia State quarterback of the year. Tucker McDonald, who played a little bit last year. Cole Welliver is the 6'7" kid. He's from Texas. He's from a big school, Liberty Christian. I've been there before. Jake Triptree from Sayville, New York. I know where that is. That's not the best football. And that's their quarterbacks. So,
well, let me see if I can find some Nick Evers.
Yeah, I know he played against Georgia State. I don't really want to look at Maryland because Maryland was a disaster. But I know he came back against Georgia State. I know they started him against UAB. So I'm not the best at evaluating quarterbacks.
Well, let's look at it.
I would like to see what you think. Because I've seen him.
All on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico.
Oh yes, yeah. This is the one I was at.
The field,
and I just was frustrated as hell.
Let's see. Field throughout this game for UConn. They go to Brown. Brown puts his foot in the turf.
Yep, this was the first play of the game. Touchdown.
That type of speed, he's the fastest back to vertical, and he has that type of speed.
Or did he get reeled in? He got reeled in.
They go back to Brown. Brown takes it down. Lewis Hanson with a 3-yard. Robinson slip it to the tight end.
Yeah, this is when I went nuts because they called a naked, and I was like, that's all I wanted was a naked. I was like, just please run a naked. Watch what they do. Oh, look, it's a naked, and it's wide open. Is that Hunting or Hanson? That's Hanson. Yeah. I was there for this, and I went nuts because they called my play. Because if on Husky Huddle the week before, I said, we need to run a naked. We ran a naked. We scored a touchdown. All right, so here they're 3-by-1.
Evers back to pass, has protection, slings it to the sideline long.
What do you think of his footwork? Because out of the shotgun, it looks like
protection, slings it to the sideline.
It looks to me like his feet are a little narrow. He's a little narrow.
Yeah, he doesn't have a base.
Catches made. Skyler Bell.
But is he dropping too far?
I'd love to see him match up with Skyler.
And you know, when you're in the gun and it's a 5-step drop, are you supposed to take 2 or 3 steps.
They fake the handoff.
Okay.
The man with the safety high here.
All right,
Okay,
there's.
here's a good example of it. So look, there's a philosophy. Most quarterback coaches teach ball down, whip, right? See how this ball is down here?
Yes.
I'm a big believer in
Keeping it high.
Bottom of the ball being up. Not necessarily keep it high. Bottom of the ball being up when you throw, so the ball just comes up and out.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Now,
so your release is higher, right?
Most QB coaches teach you like this because it gives you a whip action.
They do teach that.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I think it's slower. I think
Yeah.
Dan Marino's up and out is the way to do it.
Now, this is interesting because they run their nakeds. Their nakeds are run like an RPO, which I think is strange. So this is 3-step. Yeah, he's supposed to catch and throw, right? Yes.
See how the foot is lifted up?
The back leg's up. Yep.
This foot should come forward. Rotate the hips, foot forward.
Right. So he's not using his hips at all.
Well, he does bring it forward. Let's
they make the handoff. They go to Hanson, the tight end.
He does bring it forward.
And also
way up. See how he brings it way up?
Yeah, it's too high in the air. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Double clutch sling.
No, it's inaccurate then. So let's look
I see what you're saying.
So now let's go.
Does he have a long release?
I think it's a big whip.
Okay.
Me. I'm not a huge fan. There are guys that are in the NFL that have that whip. I'm not a big fan of it.
Doesn't Mahomes whip? He kind of throws. He throws from everywhere, I guess, but he's Patrick Mahomes.
They take the handoff. They go to Hanson, the tight end. He picks up the first down, and also the Huskies.
Here.
Evers, double clutch.
Double clutch is there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's 3-step, it's just out of the gun. You're just supposed to catch and throw, right?
It looks like they moved the pocket. He must be pretty ball guy.
And build their lead to 10. He's still the back.
Catch, step, and throw.
Gibson has some time. Gibson lofts it over the top. It's caught.
Yes, I remember that.
Goes quarterback though.
No tap. Did he get the feet down? Not one. It looked like he got both. Has the corner.
Good.
He did get both. This was a brutal game. They won 17-7. But offensively, they should have scored a lot more.
Protect the sticks.
Low drop. I'm not a fan of it.
Right.
3rd and 13. Evers gonna step up and run. Evers though, a late throw to the sideline. It is cut.
That was a good throw.
That was good. I thought that was pretty good on the run.
Yeah. Yep. Going to his right, coming back. It was good recognition. And I think they did more of this trying to move the pocket with him. I hate sprint out though.
Robinson.
But this is where I think hurts him because he should have pulled it on this.
Immediately bursting forward the ball.
It's a zone read, but the end closes, he doesn't pull. If you see it.
That's a bad read.
So
it's an empty set.
If you're not gonna read it,
pressure comes. They sling it to the outside. Catches.
There's no point to have an athletic quarterback in there if he's not controlling the backside end and linebacker. You can't have that backside pursuit.
They dump off the screen to try to reach behind him. He's up, and it is good.
Just yet.
3rd and 7 for UConn. Edwards is in to protect. Evers flushed.
Oh, that's right. It was 17-10 they won. Okay. He was short there. I can't remember if they went for it on fourth or not. But I remember they won this 17-10, but it was so ugly.
Man rush. Gibson has to get rid of it. Intercepted. Running it back.
Okay, that gave him a short field.
Throwing it. Brinson goes right there and takes it. No, that's how it all works. You think, they're going to drop out. I'm going to have this zone, and it's going to be an easy throw. And they put some right zone that you were thinking of throwing it.
Evers scanning the left side. It's left in the first half. Evers scanning the left side of the field. He's running.
He gets pressured. This is when they start blitzing him. They bring the cross X up the middle.
Lofts it up.
Snap and hold it good. Throw to the left. That's great.
Ball time. Ball time.
He's not mega quick.
UConn that took the Hansen in the full position essentially here, and they bring down Brett Buckman.
I thought we won.
They go to
Edwards. We won this 17-10.
Flag does come in. Edwards has got green grass. Edwards
blocked up so well, and this is what he can do, man.
Yeah, Cam is unbelievable.
Evers gonna throw it to the end zone, but knocked down in the flag.
Sometimes.
What did you think of that for the fade?
2nd and 9. Gathings comes down in short motion.
They RPO'd this.
Evers gonna throw it to the end zone, but
I don't know.
They got a PI there, but he
15-yard penalty.
Gonna be stopped short.
He
line of scrimmage. They toss it to Darrell Robinson.
Right. Okay, so it's 21-10.
Who's coming and who's going?
4-man rush. They set up the screen. Catch is made. They lose him in traffic. Michael Duke. They crowd the line. Gibson trying to find a hole. Gibson has to spin.
Talk about a game of a run it. If he could one-on-one with someone, he will.
For low, he is met at the
loadout one-on-one.
No, this was
a run from him again.
This was a big stand, I believe.
Slings it to the outside.
Yeah.
First down.
So I'm pretty sure.
James Allen and his
okay, yeah, they held him to a field goal.
Sends it sailing high, spiraling kick. Fair catch is made by Sheffield at the 43-yard line. 40 inches they can be in that situation, but great experience and one that you'll always live with. Mel Brown.
So this was the game I liked because they ran more from the pistol.
2nd down. Evers fakes it. Evers keeps it. Gets a nice block by Edwards.
But like as an athlete, he's not a super athlete.
Stretch, Edwards pinballing forward.
Like he's not like a 4'6" kid. Like he looks more like a 4'8".
Make it a 2-possession lead. Evers launches into the end zone.
You do think he's smooth, but he doesn't have like that 5th gear.
It's not mega quick, he's smooth.
But then a flag comes.
He's a good athlete. Automatically.
He steps up beautifully.
He's a good athlete. He's not great.
Athlete. I don't think. Is he an elite athlete? I don't know.
No, but I don't think he's an elite athlete. But I think if you look at his statistics, that's what's troubling. Now I know Joe Figiano got to play against Merrimack in Buffalo. Buffalo ended up having a winning record, but that's what kind of padded his stats. He had 6 touchdowns against Merrimack, but passing wise, Evers, he played in 9 games. He had 180 pass attempts to Figiano's 206 attempts. And he threw for 918 yards, 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Joe, he ended up with 1631 passing, 20 touchdowns.
Right.
But they're comparable in it's not. I know that Joe ended up playing more games and got more time, but statistically, that's 20 more pass attempts, 26 more pass attempts that he had. Yet Figiano had 15 more touchdowns than Evers did. And, you know, even if you take away the 6 from the Merrimack game, you know, that still gives him 14 touchdowns.
Right.
And, you know, he played well in the bowl game against UNC. But if you go game by game statistically, I mean, nobody really set the world on fire. I just want to check his numbers against Georgia State. So he went. Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. He was 10 of 16 for 75 yards, 1 touchdown. Like, that's not going to win you games. And that's against Georgia State. Georgia State's quarterback was 28 for 40 for 257 and 1 touchdown. And, you know, we won because of our running game. Mel Brown had 14 carries for 138 yards. Edwards had 13 carries for 88 yards. And Evers, you know, had 9 carries for 25 yards. So I think that if he's going to be the guy, he's got to give you production where you're at least 200 yards passing. And as a dual threat quarterback, he's got to give you 50 yards rushing. Or else, I mean, there's why would you go with him if you're not going to get those kind of numbers?
Right.
That's my concern. And like his footwork, I don't. His drops just look awkward to me. I don't understand. Like when he does his 3-step, he pitter patters. You know, it isn't 3-step out of the gun, just catch and throw. Catch, turn, step, and throw. Right?
Right. I think his process has to quicken up from watching. I mean, look, he makes some good throws when he's in a good position, and he rotates his hips, and he's got a pretty good arm. I think the issue is that he doesn't look comfortable in the pocket.
No, he does definitely
time. And you got when you move the pocket, it looks pretty comfortable when you move the pocket, but it's hard to move the pocket all the time, right?
Yeah, you can't move the pocket, and I hate sprint out because it cuts the field in half. It cuts your read in half. Now, like I looked at the Syracuse game. Joe Figiano played against Syracuse. He was 27 of 48, 228 yards, 2 touchdowns. Now that's a horrible completion percentage, but he gave you, 228 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Kyle McCord now had 470 yards passing, and 2 touchdowns.
Right.
We were good on the ground. This is the game I went with Laban and my father. Cam had, this was just the mistake. Cam had 8 carries for 87 yards and a touchdown. Mel Brown had 5 carries for 41 yards. This is when they kind of started to phase out Darrell Robinson, which is maybe when he indicated he wanted to go in the transfer portal. I don't know. But Darrell Robinson had been like kind of their leading back up until here. But with Cam, Mel, and TJ Flowers, I think that gives you a great backfield. And then I think, if Joe Figiano is back, he's listed on the spring roster. I swear to God, last week he wasn't. That definitely, I hope they give them a competition in the spring, because like you said, I mean, I think spring ball's pretty useless, but they need to come to Jesus and go with one of them. Because if you have 2 quarterbacks, the saying is you have none.
Right.
And, they tried it when they played against North Carolina. They tried using both. I think Evers came in sparingly just to do some QB runs. But Joe led the way. But the production overall passing is not, especially in today's world of college football. If you can't throw the ball, you're not going to have success.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, I think you have to be able to look. Running is obviously important. If you're a great runner, then there's value there. If you're an average runner, it's going to limit. Like, you got to be a better thrower. I don't know.
And you have to tailor the offense to.
I have to watch every play of every game to see a game to see his process and how he's going through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to watch more on him because just from what I've seen, he looks awkward in the pocket. He holds the ball a little long. He doesn't have the best pocket presence. Now, we didn't give up. We were top 10 in the country as far as sacks given up. We didn't give up a lot of sacks. But statistically, if you're not passing for 200 yards a game,
right?
I mean, that's not going to cut it at the Division I level. He's got to be able to reach those barometers or metrics, 200 yards a game passing. He's got to complete over, even Figiano did not complete over 50% of his passes, I don't think.
Which is not good. That's not good either.
No. So if Figiano is in fact back, I think they have to make a decision, go with one of them and stick with one of them. Don't play roulette. I don't know if the other guys are close to being ready. I hope they get a chance to they'll obviously redshirt the Virginia kid and see what they get out of him. I don't know if they're looking to bring in another transfer. But that is such a valuable position. Like, we won games despite the quarterback play. I don't think we won games because of the defense and our running game.
Right.
We didn't win quarterback. We didn't win games because our quarterbacks were the quarterback play was outstanding. And that's why you say, yeah, we went 9-4. If we had better quarterback play, 10-2, maybe you only because we had the Wake Forest game. Maybe you only end up losing to Maryland and Syracuse. I think we were on the verge of beating Syracuse. We had a chance, and we were on the verge of beating Wake, and that's with substandard quarterback play. So that's why my feeling is, with adequate quarterback play and the schedule we have, this could be an 8, 9, 10 win team.
I think next year, if they can improve quarterback play and with the recruits they have they easily could be a 10-win team.
Yeah, with the defense they have and the running game and Skylar Bell being back. They brought a couple good receivers in the transfer portal, which I think will make a difference.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, those are, next week or Friday, we'll take a look at Joe Figiano, see what you think of him.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, well, if he's coming back, we'll take a look at him.
Yeah, I mean, I can't get an answer on that, but he's listed on the spring roster. I'll try asking Burton again.
Yeah, let's take a look at that next Friday.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have to. I got to go get my head zapped.
Boogie, go get zapped.
I got to go get my head zapped.
It's good to see you. You're back.
Yeah, I'm back. So tonight,
What happens when you get a great dating coach?
Yeah. I'm never going to live that down. Tonight, are you back at 9? Are you guys snowed in or no?
Well, let me see if we have practice. I don't know. Hold on. Let me see. I don't even know if I have practice. No, we're not snowed in. We do have practice tonight. Okay.
So 9 o'clock.
No, we don't. Wait. What day is today?
It's Monday. You
Oh yeah, but it's President's Day. No, we don't have practice. We don't practice.
Oh, good. Okay, so you could start earlier. You could start at like 7.
No, I could probably start like 8.
8. Okay. All right. I'll let Frank know,
Okay.
and we will see you then. So,
All right, brother.
this has been Husky Huddle with the coach, David Schuman. I am Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe, and apparently learning from a dating expert. And I'm going to go get my head zapped. And remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them right back at life.
All right, I'll see you a little later, man.